And it's that time again. Another episode of the Pex Pals
Pex Pals.
with me, your boy, JoelCupcake.
And me, your other boy, CowVan.
I'm your boy, but CowVan is the boy. Does
Oh,
that make
okay.
sense? Do you like that?
I like
that.
that.
I like
like
that.
that.
I like that. Do you
I
like
like
that?
that.
I'm
I
gonna
like
give you
that.
the little like glasses tilt. Like, yeah, you
Oh,
like that?
okay.
Yeah,
No, I
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
I'll be the
yeah,
boy. You're your boy.
yeah. I'm your boy.
I get it. I get it.
But yeah, other people might not get it, but who
You
cares?
might not get it.
It's
You
our
might not get
show.
it.
It's our show. So who cares? Right? Right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Right?
Let's start the show out like we always do. Tips and tricks. Joel, what's your tip for the week?
Well, greetings, my fellow mediocre gamers. Mediocre, whatever.
Mediocre, whatever.
It's mediocrity. I'm not the brightest bulb in the box, so
It's all good.
it's all good. My tip for today, with the rank split especially having happened, which we're going to get into, ring awareness. Now, this is two parts because even in pubs, you're not spawning in with the heat shields anymore. You still have to find them.
Right.
So know what level of the ring you're on and pay attention to when it's shutting on you, because I embarrassingly lost a couple games a couple days ago where I just wasn't paying attention and the ring closed on me.
It'll get you.
And it closed on my two teammates, and then I had to kind of, return it out. You know what I mean? Like, this kind of is what it is,
No,
like,
you're right. You're right, though. You're right.
So ring awareness, because especially now that we're not spawning with heat shields, like, that's actually why this came in my head, because we were in a game and everybody was like, oh, ring. And I was like, heat shields. And we all just started like little girls screaming in the cafeteria. We don't have a heat shield. Like, what's that meme of what's his name? Jonah Hill?
Yeah.
Where he's like,
yeah, exactly.
That was us in like a very bad way.
No, you're right though. Ring awareness is huge, especially like I'll add to that. Like, because you said, or I'll just go off of what you said. You said know what level ring you're in, because like, for example, living in the red, like in the first one, you can survive a good long time in the first ring.
You can be in the first ring until it's the second ring.
Yeah.
Like, it's
exactly.
It's like actually nutty, Like,
yeah. And so
and the reason I say ring awareness, oh man, I mean, I've had a couple intense games. Like, I spent a couple weeks ago with our buddy Sigma Caldera and Barista Witchcraft, and at least the lovely person who actually came up with the name Pex Pals.
Right.
We're playing. My dumbass goes down because I tried to caustic ult somebody that was already down, because this was before the nerf, so I could be a Punisher.
Yeah.
And I got freaking triple taked right in the dome. You know what I mean? So I'm dead. And they're fighting, and the team got the person I downed up. They were weak though, so they mopped the person. They knocked the person back down that I downed, right?
Okay.
And then we're kind of sitting there. It's at what is that? The area next to the big warp bubble.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, there's that town.
Yeah.
Is it Solar Array? No, Solar.
Solar is north, or I have no idea. But anyways, I know what you're saying, right? Just north of it, right?
Yeah, it's like above Energy Depot. And then it's like Energy Depot, Turbine, the Warp Bubble, and then it's like in the middle of the three. It's like, so we're there, and I'm like looking at the ring, and like, you've been in games, like, I'm really good at being able to call like where the circle's going to end. You know what I mean? I felt like I've developed that tactic really well. So they're fighting. Then the team that Sigma and Barista are fighting split up. And I'm like, and I see where one is, and I'm like, yo, he's getting touched by the ring. And then I'm like, yo, Annalise, leave Sigma, just run. And she's like, what? I was like, don't, just trust me, please. Just run. She turns around, and she's Bangalore. She smokes, she gets shot out, her little boost goes off, she hoofs it, right? The ring still tickles her character's butt. You know what I mean? Sigma dies. The guy Sigma's fighting dies.
Oh.
And we're like, where's the last one? Well, the reason I told her to run is, there's that town is split up like into two parts, and you have to run over the bridge.
Yes.
She turns around and looks behind the bridge, and I'm like, where is it? And I'm like, I don't know how you haven't won yet. Just be patient. Like, just keep watching, because they have to. That dude literally has to run out of the really damaging final ring into your view.
Right.
So you got this. She never even saw the guy. He just fell over dead to the ring.
Yeah.
And like that team jumped us. Like they were probably very mad.
Yeah.
That especially because I went down like right away in the fight. Like I scrubbed it up majorly.
Right.
You know? So the ring positioning, I paid attention to it and it worked in my favor. And then here I am like 2 weeks later getting pooped on because I'm not paying attention to what level the ring is or the positioning of it, you know?
Yeah, ring awareness is huge. Ring awareness is huge. It's really important to know where you are in the ring and to know where it's going and how much time you have. I mean, there's a timer for a reason.
Correct.
So yeah, so that's a good tip. That's a good tip. I think my tip for the week is kind of similar to ring awareness in the sense that you have to know where you are and understanding where the ring is and where you're going in relation to the ring. And my tip though is watching your back or having someone on your team designated to watching the back. Because I mean the map, you know, essentially when the ring starts to close, the map turns into a circle. And I always, the way I've always started, not always, but since I started playing BRs, the way that I have started calling positions or like rotations on the map is by clockwise and counterclockwise, right?
Yes, I know that you do that because I hate it because I have to I have to think about it for a second.
And so I do that because a lot of people get confused about left, right, north, south, east, west, right? No one's really, a lot of people don't really pay attention. Some people do, and you know, that's not some stuff like that. But saying clockwise and counterclockwise, you know, for me, it's shown for me better communication on like where to turn. But knowing where you're running and how your team is running and what's behind you is so huge because a lot of times some people they're able to sneak behind you and you may not know it. It may even just be one person who sneaks behind you and wipes your whole team because you just simply weren't looking behind you. I don't know how many times I've snuck up behind teams and just melted them because they were not paying attention behind them. Or how many times I've been melted by someone who just snuck up behind me because I thought our back was clear and it wasn't.
I could not agree with this tip more. It kind of goes. Our tips kind of go actually hand in hand.
Kind of go hand in hand a little bit,
better than our tips normally do. Sometimes we're on opposite ends, or we're kind of bouncing all over the place.
Right. No. So ring awareness huge, and in relation to that, watching your back, watching where you came from, and having someone just back there looking so that you know that back is covered. Every alley of approach is or avenue of approach is covered.
Yeah, and you know what? Let's go a step further with your tip today, Calvin. Let's go back to, I don't know if it was last week or weeks before, with my tip was know your team comp. So for example, if I'm playing with Calvin and it's Calvin and me, and say we have our buddy Hammer with us, you know what I mean? That's Calvin's usual running mate. Their shots are both better than mine. So in that situation, as what Calvin's saying, I would let them engage the mid-range battles of the people we're seeing or maybe trying to third party. And I would pull out my short to mid-range weapon and watch the backside. Because I know that the odds of them knocking these people that we're trying to creep that don't know we're there yet is better than me. I also usually play the defensive characters, so it's way easier for me to be like, oh, we're getting pushed. Here's 3 Cossack Mines, or here's my Watson ult, or here's my Gibby bubble if I need to like res one of the other 2. You know, so yeah, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So, also one thing that I think is interesting from your point with the clock res, counterclockwise. You know how you said you hate going left or right. So the reason it's difficult for me, I've never explained this to you, is all the other BRs. I'm very tactically minded, and I've learned to do less of that in this game. I still do it, but less, because you have to push the third party to get the points, as we talked about with ranked. You know, I always stick to the small. I always, like when I play Call of Duty, like when I played Warzone, for example, I always refer to it as the short side of the ring. So like, yeah. So like when you see the bubble and then there's the next bubble, the part where there's like basically no difference, I always try to work that direction. That's always my go-to, is get there. And so I've never really thought about it as clockwise or counterclockwise, but your way definitely makes sense. But that's why I've always, because mine's always been about where are we going, you know?
Right.
So.
No, I get you.
I get it. Okay. All right. Well, so on the note of ranked, we just had the split.
Just had this on March 23rd. The rank split happened. So, from what I've known or what I've seen, if you're gold, if you made it into gold, you're back in bronze 2. If you made it into platinum, you're at silver 2. If you're in diamond, you're at gold 2, and so on and so forth. So, if you haven't gone and checked your rankings, go check it. And the time is now. Early in the season, to be honest, early in the season is the time to get your rank because you're more than likely to find a rank game. You're more than likely to get teamed up with people if you're doing solos or like even with just 2 of you.
Yeah,
you're more than likely to get teamed up with someone who actually cares about their rank and they're not just fucking around.
Yeah.
And like you would someone later in the season, correct, or mid-season. So yeah, go check your ranks, go get your stuff like that, and just a little bits of information about ranked are as follows. At the end of the season, everyone gets a little badge, right, to show what rank you made it into, right? Platinum, diamond, gold, whatever.
There's solid badges and like flashy holographic badges, right?
And so exactly.
I'm new to ranked, as I mentioned last episode. So
right. So you'll see that there are 2 different types of badges. If you notice, if you finish the rank, if you finish the season, like say you ended the first split in platinum, right?
Yeah, let's use me for example. I finished the first split in platinum. So
okay, so Joel, you finished the first split in platinum, but say you play ranked again and you don't make it back into platinum. Like say you don't even play ranked anymore. You just stayed at silver 2.
Yeah.
You'd get the platinum badge, but it won't be shiny because you didn't make it back into platinum. Okay. If you make it back into the rank that you ended, if you get the same rank in each split, you'll get a shiny version of the badge. So, for example, I made it to diamond, right? And if I make it into platinum again, which I have, and then I don't make it back into diamond, I'll get the diamond badge, but it won't be the flashy, sparkly kind.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the flight trail is only for diamond and up now, right?
It's only for diamond and up now. They got rid of it for platinum, which is fine. But now it's diamond and up. You get a flashy little flight trail at the end of the season.
Yeah. So, and correct me if I'm wrong, but in like season 2, if you got it in season 1 or 2, it just stuck with you, right? Like you have.
That's what I recall. That's what I recall.
And then they changed it in 3, and then in 4 or 5 is when they added the whole split thing, right?
Yeah, they changed it so that it just disappears. Which after the year of it, I think, which I think is not cool. I think if you worked really hard to get to Diamond, Master, or Pred for a season, you should be able to keep that trail.
Yeah. Well, there used to not even be Master, right? That rank used to not exist.
Master used to not exist. That is correct.
And then as the game got more popular,
right?
And it was also, and then the classification for being a Pred was also different, right? Like it was almost, I don't want to say it was easier.
I don't recall the old rank because I didn't play old rank.
Yeah, I didn't either. So okay,
right.
Well, awesome. Well, I mean, yeah. So check your rank, everybody. Figure it out. If you need a gold teammate, hit me up. If you need a plat teammate, hit Calvin up. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So
and then another thing that they changed this week, outside of ranked, is a feature that a lot of people asked for, which was no fill on your teammates.
Finally, something that this game can actually take from Warzone instead of Warzone just ripping off all of Apex's ideas. They literally
do. I know. Yeah.
But,
the training and everything.
Well, so it's like they ripped off all of Apex's ideas, and now they're just ripping off all the stuff they did to Blackout, like the original BR that they did.
Right.
So yeah, so no fill. It's something that Call of Duty's had for almost 8 months, I would say, probably.
They've had it for a long time.
Yeah. So it's nice. It's definitely needed. I think a lot of people don't realize they shouldn't use it. Like I see a lot of single people in both trios and duos that just like they don't even break one of our shields.
Right.
And I don't run with a team where we're like glued to each other at the hit, able to team shot the same opponent every single time. No, we're always like one of us is always in the wrong fucking building,
right?
Or like I mean,
I know, dude.
Yeah.
I play with you guys,
yeah. So it's like it just happens sometimes. Like sometimes the organization is 100%, sometimes it's like 20%. So I don't get it, man. Like I like the allure of no fill. I want to try like solo queuing and duos and seeing how I do. But it's definitely like a lot of third partying, a lot of like trying to make sure you get that hot. You have to rat. Well, you also have to get the hot gear right away.
Right.
So you got to land caustic. You got to land crash site. Stuff like that.
Just to clarify, what we're talking about is in public games, not ranked games, in regular quick play games, in trios and duos, you can select the options so that you don't get an automatic teammate, right? You don't have to play with randoms anymore.
Yeah.
If it's just you by yourself, you can solo queue into trios and have no teammates, or duos and have no teammates. If you have one teammate with you, you can go into trios and not get a third.
As a duo, yeah.
Yeah. So it opens up the possibility of potentially getting some of those badges that you've been trying to get that you just can't seem to get, like the 4K badge, the 25, the 3K, or the 4K badge. If you're just one of those guys who can just zap around the map and just handle people left and right and get your damage in, third party rat, get your 20 bomb, get your 4K bomb. That's probably the idea for you if you feel like your teammates are holding you back.
Yep. That's why I want to try to do like a day where I do duo, or I do duo trios with somebody, so I can try to get the 2K badge on my main, because I have it on a few people, but I don't have it on the one I want it on.
Right.
Which I know is annoying.
Yeah. No, it's true.
Your higher badges are on the characters you don't even name.
I actually have it on Octane now.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
I know you have like the 3K on like crypto and like one of the other ones.
Right. I have the 3K on, let me look it up. I have the 3K on crypto, Wraith, Octane, and Watson, I believe.
Can you go back and say Wraith one more time?
Wraith?
Okay.
God damn it.
Now that we got that out of the way.
Hey, man.
No, I'm just kidding. I've actually been playing her lately, and
I don't like playing it. It was a freak game. It was a freak game, and I went 13 kills, 3,400 damage, and I solo won because Hammer and Toes died. It was insane.
It happens, though.
No, it was insane. But so solo queuing is a thing right now. And now, Joel, I wanted to get into something that I was actually thinking about, and it's kind of something we talked about because the other week we talked about sticking with guns that you're just vibing with at that moment.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And with all the changes and stuff like that, a lot of people's like gun preferences are changing as well. But we still have our favorites.
Correct.
What guns recently have you been favoring?
If I can get, my top loadout right now.
Okay.
So when the season started, when season 8 started, I would have told you. I can't believe this is going to come out of my mouth right now. Eva 8 triple take.
Okay.
When the season started, okay.
Okay, yeah, okay.
That progressed to triple take P2020 with the hammer points. Now it's honestly, it's either R301 with Anvil or the alternator, bro. The alternator is just like,
dude.
So I am convinced that hipfire, it shoots straight.
Really?
Oh, dude, I've had some of the dumbest plays where like I feel like I'm just hipfire spraying, but I'm like following the person as best I can, and I'm like getting hipfire headshots with the alternator.
Right.
Fucking people that I don't deserve to fuck up. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go. If I had to choose a solid primary weapon, it'd be alternator, and my secondary would be either of the hammer point guns.
Interesting.
I haven't been streaming as much as I would like to lately, and I have clutched some of the most like ludicrous plays with the P2020 with the hammer points, dude. Like
P2020,
with the hammies. Like you just hit fire and pray, baby.
Hit fire and pray. I mean? That's the way to play that gun. What's funny?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, dude.
It also depends on who I am. If I'm Gibby, I 100% want the R3 with the anvil and the gold beak, because with Gibby and there's just something about, you have the arm shield for the extra shield. Right. You can make them pushy with the bubble, and but the bubble also generates your own cover.
Right.
And there's been a huge surplus of Bangalore players lately. And so you get that gold beak with the fucking Digi-Threat sight.
Yeah.
Bangalore is literally useless.
Right. That's true. No, you're absolutely right.
What about you? What are, like, I mean, we obviously already had the conversation of, like, it's good to be good with, like, multiple things.
Right.
You know, right. But what's like hitting for you the most right now? So
I was gonna say, that game that you and I and Waffle, that one game, I had the alternator that game. And
you're like 13 kill, 14 kill.
That 13 kill game. I don't know what's up with the alternator right now, but it's killing. It's wrecking, dude. And I don't understand. Maybe because that one damage buff that they gave it.
Yeah.
But it's doing a really good job. To be honestly, I can't shake it, but I need to have either the P2020 or the beak. I don't know what is up. I used to love just sniping all the time, but I've gotten away from it. Like, I almost don't snipe hardly ever anymore. Like, and I still enjoy it. I still like doing it. You know, I still can hold my own with it. But now my secondary almost always has to be the beak or the P2020 with the hammer points, and I don't know why.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm like, if I don't have one of those two guns, I literally have the EVA 8. Like, that's it. Like, I don't, unless I'm sniping.
Right.
You know. By the way, on the note of sniping, I gotta cut you off because I didn't even get to tell you this happened the other night. I think Waffle clipped it on his stream.
What happened?
By the way, if you guys don't know who we're talking about, our buddy X, Darth Waffle X, check him out on Twitch. He's hilarious. If you love weed, he's your dude. Great gamer as far as, like, skill level goes and communicate. Like, just
he's a good dude.
He's fun to watch. He's hilarious. Anyways, so fuck that guy. We're not talking about him anymore. Me and him and our buddy Ender pushed into PS5. That's what we all call Hammond Labs in our group of friends, for those of you listening. And we push into PS5, and you know how, like, there's the main room and then it dips down into the lower room? We had one person left on the squad. Ender's down at the bottom of the stairs, and he pops open the door to shoot the dude, and Ender is like flesh. I see his health go down. I slid down the stairs with a charge rifle out, and as Ender's pumping into the dude with a flatline, I charge rifle the dude from hip fire and just kill him.
That's disgusting.
And I was like, dude.
That's not cool.
Dude, fuck my rank. I did that. You know what I mean?
Throw that away. If you clipped it, delete it.
Waffle might have clipped it. I didn't. I wasn't streaming, so who knows?
that is heresy.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Anyways, I'm so sorry. I cut you off.
You're good. So I almost always have to have a beak and a P2020.
Okay.
I just feel that once they're flesh, they're done.
Oh yeah.
I feel like if I have any other gun, I'm wasting my time. And I have to have the beak or the P2020 to just end them. Because what's the point? I don't want to fight you anymore. You're done. You know? As far as primary, I've been using the tried and trues, the 301, the 99. I've been dabbing in the alternator. I've all but forgotten about the hemlock. Every time I say hemlock, I don't even pick it up.
Same.
I don't even pick it up. I don't pick up the Spitfire much anymore. Yeah, I don't do it. Because the Spitfire does the exact same damage as the flatline. The chest and head does the exact same damage. And I just feel like I don't know. I just feel like the flatline, for some reason, for me, it's just, I can control it better than the Spitfire. I don't know. It's just personal preference.
Yeah. So I'm the opposite, but I will say, hipfire, I don't think anything beats the flatline, including the R3. Like, if you're just hip firing it in full auto, I would take a flatline, like I'll run a flatline alternator and put all my attachments on the alternator, and the flatline's literally just for like the clutch close range fights.
Really?
Dude,
that's so weird because the flatline, you need all the attachments because it's just a spotty gun.
I'm crazy, dude.
That you sound insane.
I just can't believe you're snuffing the Spitfire. I might have
I'm not snuffing it. Here's the thing. The flatline shoots slower than the Spitfire full auto, right? And the Spitfire also has more rounds in it in a magazine. But you can single fire shoot the flatline faster than you can full auto shoot the Spitfire.
Yes, I've seen you do it, and it blew. It really. Yeah, I'm actually still a little triggered from it, but
so I mean, like I can do it. I have an abnormally fast click, from what I've been told from our friends.
Yes, you do.
And so it works for me that way, and it slightly reduces the recoil too when you do single fire, so you can shoot faster and more accurately to some degree. I mean, you got to really try. But yeah, so my primary guns right now are the tried and trues, the 301, the 99. I've been using the flatline and the alternator. And to be honest, I've been using the Havoc a lot, but only with the Yerbo, the Yerbo Yarger.
Yerbo Yarger. That's I mean, if you can get that, you shouldn't pick up any other weapon. But that's all. We can have a whole episode about that.
That's a whole another thing.
I feel like the Havoc has been the most up and down weapon in the game. Like there was two whole seasons where you did not touch that weapon.
No.
And now, dude, like I didn't touch it last season. This season, though, dude, you give me that even without the Yerbo, like just like you hip fire that son bitch and they're dead.
Hip firing the Havoc is that's nasty, dude.
Yeah. So for me, like, I mean, I think we're about the same, except instead of flatline, I'm always gonna go for a Spitty, dude.
Spitty.
But lately, I've just been choosing the alternator almost everything.
Dude, I don't understand it.
And to touch on your sniping point, I think the reason I've slowed down on sniping is I've finally learned the value of the R301 with the anvil.
I don't anvil.
See, all the games I've gotten my badge on are games I've my 2K or higher damage badge.
Yeah,
I've utilized the R301
with the anvil.
Or
just
both,
in general?
Both, but in general, but both. Yeah, like the game where I have one 25k damage badge that's on Gibraltar, and now that was gold R301.
Yeah,
but in single fire the whole time with it. I put the 3 times scope on it, and then the gold beak. I ended up with both gold guns because I guess I'm a loot goblin. So
loot goblin.
Yeah. I ended up with both, probably pissing my teammates off, but whatever. We won that game, so it doesn't matter to me.
Right.
But like, and just there's something about Gibby's like arm shield and the beak. I literally just feel unstoppable, dude. Like,
yeah, it's pretty nuts, dude. But you mentioned something that is like huge, and I don't think people realize this. There's a reason why everybody wants the R301. The R301 is probably the most reliable gun in the game. It has incredibly good control, short, mid, and even long range. It's such a solid gun that if you are just like, I don't like it because you're not using it right, like utilize the R301.
I used to be a hater. I would literally just ignore that gun. And now
I told you it's like, no, I said, Joel, you need to use the R301.
Well, and I finally got it. My thing was I finally got my hands on a gold one. And once I got my hands on a gold one, I was like, okay. I also switched. I play in the different colorblind mode now. So my scopes are yellow, which is also what's helping me a lot with my aim. So a yellow instead of red, for those of you listening, if you don't get what I'm saying. And it just, I mean, obviously my skill has just improved overall. You know what I mean? I think my problem, we were talking about it before we started the show, is like I had a void to fill because I was a Prowler user. So when you're a Prowler user, like you just spray and pray. That's probably why I'm so good with the Spitfire and the EVA 8.
Right. Yeah, it's true. Those are spray and pray guns. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So like, but yeah, I mean that's great. I think we can both agree though. Like if you don't know, if you're torn, especially if you need like a close to mid range weapon, like not a close range, but close to mid, like in that category, grab the alternator, dude. I've noticed all of our friends have started doing it too. Like almost everybody we play with, other than like one or two people, will always just, oh, you got an alternator? Dude, I don't even grab the RE45 anymore. And you know that like if I was to get a gun from this game tattooed on me, it'd be that or the EVA 8. You know what I mean?
RE45, dude.
Like, and it's still good, but like
it's a good gun.
When I find the alternator, I drop the RE for it. I'm like, which I feel I'm very conflicted about that.
The alternator, dude. I don't know what. Maybe that one tick of damage, dude. It's such a good gun now.
I will say one thing, and I want you to try this. Actually, I want you to do a game doing this because you're on PC. I think charge rifle RE45 is an extremely underrated combo. Because I've been using it a little bit. You can use the triple take instead, or I know you like the Sentinel. You know, which I have also been using that. I've been using the longbow a lot lately. What I've been doing is getting the gold longbow out of caustic and just taking the scope off and putting even like a 1x on.
Oh, you know me. I put the 1x on.
I know. I took that out of a page out of your book there. But like, dude, that like a sniper with the RE, like the RE's rate of fire and having the fastest reload in the game, it really balances out, man. With a sniper, like. But then again, I'm also a weirdo, and I used to run sniper shotty outside of the sniper shotty mode.
Right.
And most people don't do that, you know.
Right. But I think that play style is a very turtle play style. That loadout sniper close range, like that. I think someone like myself wouldn't see much benefit in it because I'm a aggressive, push into a team kind of players, which is why I play Octane. Because having the sniper rifle keeps you at a long range, type, especially if a sniper scope on it, and then having the RE45, you're a close to mid range fight with that RE45. So you got to be really lucky that person lets themselves be seen so you can hit them with the sniper rifle. And then they're dumb enough to keep pushing you, and then you drop them with the RE45. Yeah,
I mean the RE, I can hit people from farther away with the RE45 than I can with the alternator. You feather it. Like I'm good with it at mid range. It makes no sense. I shouldn't be. It's something's broken in my brain. You know what I mean?
Right.
But on the note of guns and what we use and what we enjoy, that brings us to our next topic, which is meta and the hive mind, the collective hive mind mentality of what you should or shouldn't use, what legends should or shouldn't be nerfed, who you should or shouldn't play.
Right.
I've been seeing a big argument online lately over like your total kills versus your KD versus this versus that. Like, I mean, dude, I don't care if your KD's 4 point something in Apex Legends, you can still hot drop and get shit on by someone. Like my KD is under 1. I don't think I play like a person with KD under 1, but I spent a lot of time not focusing on this game and just playing for fun. So mine's still low. I don't care.
Right.
But if you look at, I have roughly like 5,300 games played. I've appeared in the top 5 in over 1,500 games. So that to me, that's the type of ratio that's more important, not the meta or this hive mind mentality. Like,
yeah, I think so. So most famously for Apex, what was something that the hive mind influenced was the changes of weapons that go in and out of the loot crate, right? The game drops.
Oh, dude, yes, perfect.
So for example, the Peacekeeper used to be a ground loot gun where you'd find that just regular on the ground, and the Mastiff used to be in the loot crate, the game drop.
It was just the Mastiff and Kraber originally, right?
It was the Mastiff, the Kraber, and the Devotion, I believe.
That's right. It was that was the only way you could get the Devo. That is correct.
Yeah, I don't remember when the Devo came in because I don't feel like that was a starting gun.
No, they added it. For some reason, I remember all this shit as you and I have discussed before.
Yeah,
they added the Devo, I believe, with Watson. I believe they came in together, and then the L-Star came in with Loba.
No, the L-Star was old. L-Star is old,
but it wasn't a starting weapon. Oh,
it was a starting weapon. The L-Star's always been a starting weapon.
I don't think the All-Star's always been in the game. Are you sure?
Yeah, hasn't. I don't want to say it's always been in the game, but it's definitely been around since energy ammo was a thing.
Well, then maybe that's what came in with Watson. Maybe I just have it backwards.
Right. So the so they made switches by putting the Peacekeeper. Everyone complained that the Peacekeeper was too strong because it's a stupidly strong gun, and they switched the Peacekeeper and the Mastiff out, and they did the thing, and then a lot of people complained that the R99 was too meta, and it's true. Most people back in the day, most people greatly favored the R99. You could not find one pro streamer, dude, not using the R99. Everybody used it, and so in order to make it one of those guns that was just hard to use, they put the R99 in the loot crate. And let me tell you, if you didn't know this, if you're new to Apex Legends, people were mad. Literally, streamers threatened to quit playing Apex Legends if they did not bring the R99 out of the loot crate. R99 does so much damage. It does so much damage.
In my opinion, that's the only broken gun in the game.
It's an insanely strong gun, and I don't know. I don't know exactly what nerfs they did to it or whatever, but whatever tweaks they made to the gun, but it's still a very, very strong gun. But because people were mad, they brought it back out of the loot crate and put the Prowler into the loot crate,
which makes me. Like they buffed the Prowler, and then like not even a full season. It was like a month later they put the Prowler in because so many people were mad about the R99. I'm a Prowler user. That's my weapon.
Right.
That is my number one gun, and I don't get it.
Yeah. So it's funny, and so it's not just with guns, it's also with characters as well. So like for example, Wraith and Pathfinder are probably the two most popular characters in the game. And the reason for that was because Wraith had something called, not something called, but she had a very low hitbox, meaning it was really hard to hit Wraith, which is why Wraith has the highest win rate of all the characters.
I believe she still does even to this day, I believe.
She still does to this day because she's just hard to hit, right? And so people played Wraith. Like, I'm good, I play Wraith. Well, no, you're just harder to hit than everybody else, right? And a lot of people played Pathfinder because Pathfinder was hard to hit because he could just zip zap around everywhere. But once they nerfed his grapple, people actually stopped playing Pathfinder. Once they nerfed Caustic's gas, people actively are stopping to play Caustic's gas. It's Timmy, the world record holder for damage, made 2 videos saying why Octane's broken or Octane is meta, and all of a sudden there's a recent influx of Octane players. Reddit shows exploits where, like Bangalore, if you hold her tactical down, it narrows the spread on their hip fire. Same with Bangalore and with Revenant. If you hold their tactical button down and you don't shoot it, you just prime it, the hip fire spread decreases. So you shoot more accurately with those 2 characters. And now you're seeing an influx of Bangalores. You're seeing an influx of Revenants because Revenant's totem is still broken. You know what I mean? Like,
so broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These a lot of people are taking influence from a lot of other people to try to get the greatest advantage in the game. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? I mean, if you want to win, if you want to play the game and you want to like do cool shit and be cool shit like with everybody else, that's fine. But I think it's also important that if you want to start taking this game seriously, or any game that you want to play seriously, learn what the things that people are doing. Go into the places where people are talking about the game and learn what changes that people think that are going to be made, because it might just happen.
Yeah. Also, don't be afraid to play who you like. Like, I know a couple of people that have always played Bangalore, and now she's recognized as one of the best legends, especially after that recent buff to her ultimate. You know what I mean? So, like, I played Caustic before he was. I played him since he was available in the game. He was the first character I unlocked. You know what I mean? totally worth it. You know, like he has not been meta until what, the last 2 seasons, maybe 3.
Right.
You know, like I was playing him well before that, before any nerfs or buffs or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, so play what you're comfortable with, but pay attention to what works, because there's sometimes like I'm frustrated that we're not winning. Boom, I'll pull out a Gibby and we win. You know what I mean? It's just there's certain things that just work better in the game, and team comp, which we've talked about before, is sometimes important depending on your skill level.
That's all I got, Joel.
You know what? I think that's all I got as well.
Yeah.
I mean, for this week, you know, I mean, the only thing, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and say it. There's a lot of people out there who hate on Watson. Calvin and I will cover this next week. Don't sleep on her. That last buff. If you play Octane because you like the health regen and you're not giving Watson a shot when she has the most useful defensive ultimate in the game, in my opinion, then you're listening to the hive mind, and don't do that.
Right. That's true. Yeah. If Hive Mind's telling you guys to only play Pathfinders and Wraiths and Bloodhounds and and Revenants, branch out, play Loba.
Yeah.
Shop is OP.
I'll tell you right now. You want to know the most unfair team comp, especially on Kings Canyon because of all the high points. Watson, Loba, Pathfinder.
Wow.
Because you get somewhere, they can't get to you, they can't throw anything at you, and you can loot all the boxes as they die underneath you or the area around you with Loba. And then you have 2 people with a quick escape, and then Watson's passive automatically regenerates her shields. So like, me and one of our friends, Pastry Man, have been we run a lot of Watson Pathfinder combo, and it's great.
Yeah. That sounds like a pretty gross combo. That's a pretty ratty combo.
Well, when in doubt.
You're the Rat King. Rat it out.
Rat it out. Well, I got nothing else. Okay. That's it, everybody. Again, another episode of Pex Pals. Thanks for being here. Check us both out on Twitch, the internet, etc., etc., etc. Use the hashtag if you like the show. Give us some feedback. Let us know. Hit the comments. Hit our socials. Whatever. I'm JoelCupcake. He's CowVan.
He's JoelCupcake.
And I'm JoelCupcake, and he's CowVan.
Yeah.
And this has been another episode of Pex Pals. Don't forget to check your rank split, and you'll hear us next week.
Big 6 feet deep.